The Cuff on Wjzz Cool TV. I'm your host, Mark Scott, and we're going to be covering a dynamic vocalist, musician, entrepreneur. I mean, man is all stripes in life. Has a rich and robust history. Detroit royalty. Uh, this is what we do on our show. We bring you knowledge and information about Detroit and our community in the United States, across the country, everywhere. So today, I am so excited to say I have Motown Tim Jenkins.
Wow.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. That was some introduction. I was waiting for somebody to come in the door. I was looking around.
Oh, stop.
But I'm doing well. Life has been good, and I'm certainly glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Hey, it's my pleasure, man. I'm glad that we were able to finally get you in here. We've been trying to make this happen.
Trying to make it happen.
Yeah, we make it happen.
And God is good, so
always he'll work it out no matter what it is.
Right.
He's always got his hand in it, as far as I'm concerned.
Yes, sir.
So it's a very warm day here in Detroit. We're what's it, 92 degrees outside? You look cool, man. You look real cool.
Yeah, it's somewhere there, and I guess the reason I've been in the air conditioner all day, and so actually I was out earlier with you. The weather was relatively warm, nice, and I stayed in until it was time for me to come out, and so that's why. But and as a matter of fact, in my house, I only had the air conditioner on in one room, so if I go in another room, I sweat. Oh,
yes, you can. Well, it's okay to sweat. It's okay.
Yeah.
Cool people sweat too.
But like you were saying, I love it. I like summertime. I like the warm.
I do too. It's my favorite time of the year. Look, I want people to know. I don't know how many times you've had to disclose your history, but I'm curious myself. How did you come? We talked,
Yeah.
but for my listeners and my viewers, how did you come to want to sing and be involved in the music industry, and then you took it to some other levels? So how did you start? What was your inspiration?
Well, my inspiration came early in life. I used to. My mother, she loved music, and she always had certain artists that she used to play and walk around the house doing the housework and singing. And my mother, God rest her soul, had a beautiful voice herself, and so she would sing and I was wondering. I said, my mom sings pretty good. My daddy, he couldn't sing, but the songs that he was playing, they stuck, and all coming up through the years, I used to sing it. And then as I was going to school. Back then they was teaching music in school, and we had glee clubs, they called it then, and so my music teacher, Miss Monroe, she would always have me in the glee club as long as I can remember, and she would always give me solos. I would have a solo all the time, and sometimes 2 or 3, and during the Christmas holidays when we would put on the Christmas plays, I would have solos in some of those Christmas carols. So that's how I started. And so then in the off-being school, I used to hang around the playground. The guys used to get up there. We used to sing, they call it a doo-wop. So we used to sing on the corner. And emulate different groups and different things. And then when the Motown era hit, we used to try to sing all the Motown songs and that kind of stuff. So that's where it started. That's what my love was. And then we had a lot of crooners that was back then coming up.
Oh yeah.
So we always started out singing one another, and so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's where it originated. Okay. That's what my love for singing, you know, Glee Club and singing on the street corner and on the playground. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So after that, I mean, did you aspire to do any play any instruments or anything like that?
You know, a guy that was he's one of the groups now called, I can mention the name, Black Murder. And he started off playing VC, you know, he started off playing the guitar and ended up playing bass. Well, he was trying to teach me how to play the guitar. And I never really was interested like that. You know, for one thing, my fingers, you know, wasn't that coordinated to play the guitar, so I just gave up on it. And I wished a lot of times that I had stuck with the guitar. But that's the only instrument that I had aspired to play, and it, you know, I took lessons for maybe a month or so, and that was it.
Yeah, okay. It's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy. I know that feeling, you know what I'm saying? I know when I was coming up, I wanted to improve on everything I was doing.
Right.
And I've been involved in music since I was in the 3rd grade.
Yep.
So that's why I asked you the question, because, you know, back then in elementary school,
yeah,
they allowed you to learn how to play an instrument. So we had it all the way through school.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Now you and I know a lot of people. We know a lot of people, a lot of the same people. You in Detroit, your connection with Detroit. You've been in Detroit all your life?
No, I moved to Detroit when I was about 5 or 6 years old, but I'm from South Carolina.
Oh, okay, all right.
Anderson, South Carolina. But once I moved to Detroit, this has always been my base. In other words, even though I lived in a lot of places: Dallas, Los Angeles, Chicago. Even South Carolina, but this has always been my base. I always came in, so I considered this my second home, other than any place else. So
waiting for somebody to come in the room. You're funny. You're funny. You know, I guess that was in reference to the Detroit royalty. You are Detroit royalty, bro. You really are. And once you guys learn his story, you're gonna know that too. You're gonna know that too. Yeah. So now, you worked in studios.
Yeah.
Okay. In Detroit.
In Detroit, yeah. Studio. It was in the neighborhood, as a matter of fact, the studio, and this guy. His name was Jose, but he had a group. It was Fats and the Provados. He was a guitar player, but he ran this music company, recording company to be exact. And we used to be in there, and he used to hear us singing and invite us in, and you know, and sing, and you know, put songs down and songs that he written and put it on us. And so one day we were just sitting around and we were going over songs, and so he called me in the sound booth.
Well, where was it? Where was this? On East Side, West Side?
West side of Detroit, West Warren Avenue at
West Warren.
Yeah, McGraw and Beechwood up in there.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, he called me in there and he said, "You know this song?" And the particular song was called "Say You." And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "I want you to sing this song with these girls to the background." And
who were those girls?
They were just girls then.
At that time. Watch this.
Yeah.
Watch where see how this evolved.
But they ended up later on in life. And so when I wanted to
But the song was "Say You."
Say You. Okay. Yeah. And I'm singing the song.
You sing the lead, right?
I'm singing the lead.
Okay.
They sing the background.
All right.
And they said, "Oh, you jamming, baby," you know. And that's when I realized I had a mix or something. But even though they sound good, excellent vocals in the background. And then he wanted to put me with these girls. The concept he had, and I wanted to sing with the guys, the fellas. I wanted to sing with the fellas because during that time they had a lot of Motown groups, the Four Tops, the Temptations, and all that, and that's who we were striving to be, something like them, the Contours.
Mm-hmm.
So I turned down that opportunity, and like I was saying, those girls ended up being honeycombs. So yeah.
see what I'm saying?
So it's a missed opportunity.
Did I say royalty or what? Because this evolves. It's gonna get better and better as it goes along. You listen to this man's story. It's awesome. I'm totally blown out about it. We're gonna take a break and station ID right quick. And we're gonna come back to Motown Tim and let him finish telling you the journey that he took in the city of Detroit. Actually, he's an international person.
All right.
So you're watching WJZZ Cool TV live, streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other top social media platforms. So like us, comment, share, absolutely tell all your friends about what we're doing here in Off the Cuff on WJZZ. And then subscribe. We need your support, and so we can keep bringing you this amazing historic information that we bring you about Detroit. And then I'm going to be interviewing people. We've already done some people from Texas and so forth. So thank you for watching WJZZ Cool TV, coolest station in the world. That's my favorite line.
Okay.
I say that at every show. So. We're back to Motown Tim. He's a vocalist, musician, well, songwriter. You do write songs, right?
Write songs, yeah.
Okay, and I know he's an entrepreneur, a business owner, and so forth, and just a man of many stripes. So, Tim, the other day,
Yeah.
I was talking to a friend of ours. We just talked about it.
Right.
James Lou Lewis.
Yes.
And we're gonna have, TFO, Detroit-based TFO.
Yeah.
He was talking to me, and he referenced. I said, I asked him, did he know you? And he said, oh yeah, I know Tim. I know Tim. Yeah, for sure. Then he went into some details, little bit of details. So I knew by the way he was talking that he knew you. But you guys go way back. Tell us about some of your involvements with other people in Detroit that my audience will probably know some of those names, because I know James Lou played with James Brown.
Yeah, and also he another one of the TFO members, Greg Mathis. He plays trumpet with those guys, and of course Joe Billingsley, the Contours, David Ruffin.
What did you do with David Ruffin?
Well, David Ruffin and I knew his family, his whole family and all that. So David Ruffin and came to L.A. When I was in L.A., he was with Van McCoy. He was working on a couple of albums with Van McCoy. My brother-in-law, who's a songwriter too, and wrote this song, and it was supposed to be the B-side of the song, Everything's Coming Up Love. And so we collaborated on that and recorded, and it was a pretty good song because it came during the transition with disco. It was a disco song. So at the time, people were transitioning to disco, and so we put the song out and got credit for that. Yeah, co-writer on that. So. Yeah, and this been a good friend, he was a friend of mine, he had a couple of years on me, but he was, down to earth type of guy, so yeah.
Yeah, I imagine that would have been an experience.
Yeah,
you know, for sure.
I was the introduction.
This was before he got it with Motown, huh? Or after the Temptations.
He was just getting with Motown, the Temptations, just getting with Temptations. Right. But now he had been with the Temptations and had left the group when we played Sexy Dancer. Meeting David was the meeting was at the La Players Lounge. The La Players Lounge on Joy Road in Detroit. And David walked over to the table and he said, "Hey, my name is David, and a friend of mine got kind of annoyed, you know. So I said, man, that's David Ruffin." So I was like at odds. So Melvin Blue finished the introduction because his people lived in the neighborhood. Some of his relatives lived in the neighborhood across the street from
Melvin Franklin, the bass singer for the Temptations. Right.
Yeah. Yep. So he completed the introductions. You know, we all introduced one another, and so that's how that went. Yeah. Kept in contact with those guys. Stayed in touch with David's family and his kids, and his wife Sandra until she passed recently, a month or so ago, a couple months back.
So now I know you're in the Detroit vein of entertainment. You know all these people. We talked about some of the clubs around Detroit, 20 Grand, Henry's Palace. A number of other places that I know you either performed at because you had a group.
Right.
Tell us about it.
Right. I had a group. As a matter of fact, I was in a band. It was a self-contained band. I'm still in the band. A self-contained band called the Quality Band. Quality Band. We played in just about everywhere. Most of the time it was in the suburbs. And but we did play a lot of clubs around the city. And that band consists of 5 of us, and 2 keyboard players. But one of my keyboard players, who's an MD, he plays the guitar too, and he's lead vocalist. So and then I'm the only one that doesn't play an instrument, but I'm the lead vocalist in the group. So yeah.
So I've seen you perform.
Yeah, we played.
I came down to see you at, what was that, the Whiskey?
Nancy Whiskey.
Yeah. And I saw a tour bus pull up.
Yeah.
So it's on the what they call that, visitors, tourists.
Yes, they have what they do. They have buses that come in to different clubs, and they spend like about an hour each one of them. Get on the bus, so they spread the revenue. You know, so this club gets so much, then they'll go. And I think they require to spend so much at each club. And that's what that's.
Well, Detroit is blowing up.
Yeah.
You definitely want to be in the mix of that. So that was Nancy's Whiskey Pub.
Yeah, Nancy Whiskey. Yeah, Nancy Whiskey. That's what it's called.
Nancy Whiskey. And then you also have
a singing group.
Okay.
Yeah. It's called Sincere, and with Sincere had various members.
Coming and going,
and I got into that particular group when I got into the nightclub business, and so we perform at my club either once or twice a month, and then if somebody else want to hire a group, we never had the acclaim that not that particular group. We never had the acclaim that my band had, but we held our own. It's a lot of singing groups that's out now, local top singing groups out there that are real, nice groups, in the city. So, but we was trying to get there, and you know, I'm certain that we'll probably get there to that status. But yeah, now the group.
You guys going in the studio? You gonna be doing any kind of work like that? You know what I'm saying?
I can't see that in the studio. Not with these. You know, we old. You know, so I don't. You know, unless we come along with something that somebody writes a song that really fits us and we can push it. There's a lot of songs out now. You know, they more like I call them gimmick songs. You got a gimmick, they'll get over. But yeah, now. The one group that I was in that was called the Silhouettes. The Silhouettes 2, and we sang. Now that
all guys.
Yeah, and that particular group we traveled with that group. And did some things, and then I also traveled solo on a doo-wop tour with Scotty Productions. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Shades of Blue.
Open up for the Shades of Blue, the Drifters, who else? The Shades of Blue, the Drifters, Coasters, Frankie Lyman's Teenagers.
Right.
So open up for those guys.
Now tell me about that. You told me about something with Frankie Lyman, and then Frankie left.
Well, but Frankie,
the Teenagers, right?
Yeah. This guy named Tiny Tim, who had a group of himself, took Frankie's place and did all of Frankie's songs. Sound just like Frankie, and so at that time it was two original members left, Jimmy Mercy and Herman Santiago. Jimmy Mercy and Herman Santiago, and so now. Jimmy Mercer is not with the group, and just Herman Santiago.
Is that group still around?
Yeah, but Tim died. He died, but now he was the guy that always, when he wanted to find the nearest watering hole, he called. So when he come on man, let's go. You know, everybody else want to go to the hotel, because now we didn't find a watering hole. And we go and get some drinks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then go back, yeah.
There's always somebody like that in the group.
Yeah.
There's always somebody like that.
Yeah.
So, you write, you run a club. What's the name of your club?
Perfect Beat.
Perfect Beat.
Yeah.
Where is that at? It's going to be opening up soon, I know.
Yeah, open up soon. 1941 South 4th Street. That's in Detroit, but it's Southwest Detroit.
Yeah, tell them again.
It's 1941 South 4th Street, Detroit, Michigan 48217. And so I'm a part owner of that particular business. And before the COVID, we really had it going. We used to rotate the bands, and it was we called it an entertainment complex, even though we only had the live entertainment on Sundays. But Sundays, everybody has came in, and we also had some international acts, national acts, I should say. We had the Fantastic Four was there, Enchantment. So and then before I got into that club, a lot of the top name groups was there. The Dramatics, you know, just anybody that's
came through there.
Came through there.
'Cause I know that's where I met you.
Yeah.
I came down to your club. You treated me like a king, bro.
Yeah.
You rolled it out for me. I'll never forget that.
You deserve it.
I appreciate that. So. Thank you.
And that's how we do a lot of the people that's not even in the business. Tommy Hearns for one, you know, come through, and of course we had Coleman Young Jr. You know, so they come through. The lady that I think she was radio, she had a show, a podcast with Wjzz, Cynthia. She ran for state representative, and she won. One year she was the host. I think Wjzz. As a matter of fact, yeah, she comes through. So.
WJ us?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was on the Boulevard.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, that's fascinating. So now, I know that you and I were talking, and we were talking about the different iconic record companies. We talked about Philadelphia International.
Yeah.
You had some connections with Philadelphia International, didn't you?
Yeah, not per se.
Not directly.
Not directly. Yeah,
no. Okay. All right. Because I was talking with him, I might be, getting you and James, because that conversation.
Yeah, that was I think that was James.
Yeah. But he worked with you.
Yeah.
Now, how did you come to work with? And if you worked with TFO,
Yeah.
then you worked with some of those other groups too.
Yeah,
Junior Walker, the All Stars.
Junior Walker's All Stars. Yeah. A lot of those I was opening up for those acts.
Okay.
And so TFO. They were playing behind, like say, Junior Walker's All Star. They played behind the Contours, and a lot of those groups that I opened up for, So yeah, but we had a chance to they played behind me. A couple of songs I was paying tribute to David Ruffin, and they played behind me like that. So yeah, it's.
So you have a show that you do that's a tribute to.
Well, what I do, when I was doing a doo-wop to it was Sam Cooke. I played tribute to Sam Cooke. I played tribute to David Ruffin. I played tribute to Otis Redding. So I would pick out 2 or 3 or maybe 4 of the best songs, and I would sing those songs. And
we really got to hear this brother sing.
Do a medley.
Yeah, he commands the stage. I went to see you at, like I said, Nancy's place, and I sat in the back, but I enjoyed the show.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed the show.
I mean, likewise, I enjoyed you guys. I came to Ohio. Was it Maumee, Ohio?
Oh yeah,
so
I
you saw
remember
you
that.
guys in Maumee, and the show, excellent. The show was sitting around because to see you. Or to hear you without seeing you, you would think it was 4 or 5 of you guys. The way you had that harmony. It was only 3, and I was amazed.
Right.
And it was clicking, and it was working, and so yeah.
Well, we got 4 now.
Yeah.
We got 4 now, and that harmony is even. I think it's even better. So we're gonna do another station ID.
Okay.
And then we're gonna come back, and we're gonna touch on some of your accomplishments.
Okay.
Okay. So you're watching Wjzz Cool TV. This is Off the Cuff. I'm your host, Mark Scott. My guest tonight is Motown Tim, some of Detroit's royalty. Historic. Just been around and doing things to lift up Detroit. So you're watching Wjzz Cool TV, live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and other top social media platforms. So like us, share us, absolutely share us, and leave a comment. We want to know what you think. We want to know how you feel. You can even call and let me know who you would like to hear or have me interview on this show, because this is for you, and that's what we do it for. Inform you, keep you informed, and on the history all the way up until today. I'm going to be covering multiple genres. So subscribe. Absolutely subscribe so you don't miss any of this. So thank you for watching Wjzz Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. So, Tim Jenkins, Motown Tim.
Yes.
We come in the studio today and the girl says, Motown Tim, you Motown Tim. Yeah, I love that. I thought that was beautiful. So we know how you got to do what you do, what inspired you. We get a little bit about your education. We get a little bit about your extracurricular activities in terms of getting with the guys and doo-wopping. Everybody did that back then.
Right,
Under the street lights on the corner, you know what I mean?
We didn't have the computers and the PlayStations and all of that. So we had to make our own entertainment.
Yeah, and we did it. And look what we got. We got a bunch of legends. We got Motown 10. So I was looking at some of your bio.
Yeah.
And in your bio, you have multiple awards that you got. You want to tell us about some of those things? The Black Music Award?
Detroit Black Music Award.
With Misty Love.
Misty Love, yeah. I was nominated in 2014, and
what was that for?
The vocals of the year.
Okay.
Male R&B, and I didn't win that year, but I won it not the next year, following 2016. I won for the R&B vocalist of the year, male.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was a pretty good. And also I was awarded when I entertained the troops up in Saginaw, Marine Corps Reserve Base in Saginaw. So I got a pretty good award for that. Also, just by the longevity, I was awarded by late John Conyers for my contributions to music. The late Jewel Ware, and so doing this thing for the time and standing the test of time, because I've seen a lot of people go and a lot of people come. But the one thing that I tried to make a good name for myself in this business. I don't owe anybody. Everybody that's worked for me or played for me, they got their money. They got it on time, and so never tried to plan about it. There's a lot of cutthroats in this business that you have to be aware of, the wolf in lamb's clothing. But I tried to be straight up.
Mm-hmm.
If I tell you you're gonna make $300 for a gig, that's what you're gonna get. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so that's my name meant something, and that's why I don't nobody can say I owe them anything,
mm-hmm.
and nobody can, if they were honest about it, don't have any really bad things to say about my name in this business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I know when I met you, when I met Tim, he was gracious and absolutely. First rate, first class. I mean, and so here we are.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm a student. I'm a life student. I'm a student of life, and music is just happen to be one of the things that I'm passionate about. And so whether I'm out front or behind the scenes, I try to give it my all. Because the time when we were doing this, just because we didn't have nothing else to do or trying to make it to a certain point, we did it, and we did it out of loving what we do. So now we can figure out we kind of make a living at it, it's not that bad if you keep it up, and so that's where I'm at now. So
okay, so if you were to I think this is a pretty standard question. If you were to give advice to another younger person coming up, what kind of advice would you give to the youth with your experience? What would be maybe 2 or 3 things that you would tell them to do in order to be successful in this business?
Well, what you have to do, once you have the passion for what you're doing, don't never let your first no define you or be the last no, because if you feel in your heart that you have it, you don't let nobody tell you you don't, You try and try again. So that's the main thing. But yeah,
you might want to mute that.
No, yeah.
It's a busy man. Busy man.
I do want to mute it.
Yeah. So
yeah, and just don't take no for an answer. Keep it up. You know, be consistent. Be consistent. Find that niche.
Tenacious.
Yeah, tenacity. Yeah, find that niche that and keep searching for it. You know, it's out there. It's out there. Everybody got, you know, people that you that, how you say, people that you don't think would have had a chance, you know, have a chance in this business, because it's all about the luck of the draw and your, like you say, tenacity, just your ability, you know. If you got that ability, don't take that personal for your answer. You know? Right. Keep on. Don't give up.
Go right on through that one, and keep on moving.
That's right.
And well, you know, a lot of times, you know, failure is not the end of the road. It's a learning curve. It's, you know, you can't improve on anything without some failure.
Some degree of failure.
Yeah. You know, I mean, and failure might even be the wrong word.
Right.
You know, you might have 5 of the pieces and only one of them is not right. So you need to correct that one piece. So it's an adjustment.
Yeah.
And life gives you lessons.
Do-overs and so and you accept that.
Yeah.
And once you accept that, like you say, you accept the fact that, hey, you know, all I have to do is just make this correction right here.
And see how that works.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
So like I say, you got to be a student of life and student of this business, so that you can learn from anybody. Anybody.
Yeah. My dad used to tell me, he said, wow. My dad used to tell me, he said, when you get to the point where nobody can tell you anything, it ain't but 2 things to do. And that's either blow your brains out or lay down and die, because you're no good to nobody, including yourself.
Right.
You know, because if you can't listen, you can't learn.
Right. And that's what my daddy said, some of the same things. He said, as soon as you find a person that know everything, he closes the door on learning anything. So, you know, so we seem like our fathers, you know, gave us the same kind of advice.
Oh yeah.
And so to stand the test of time, and the people think, wow, you know, and they'll look at you, and they'll think this is easy, but it's, you know, it's not easy. It becomes you become better at it. You know, because I notice a lot of times we have. I go to places where they have open mics or jam sessions, so to speak, and a person would get up there and see a professional sing a song, and they make it look easy, and they think they could do it. And they'll get up there, and they don't know where to start the song, and they don't know. And it's like, see, it's not as easy as, you know, you got to do your homework.
Homework, preparation.
Yeah.
You got, you know, I have found that even health is an issue. You know, it's something that you need to maintain, because, you know, if you're a singer, your voice is your instrument. Your instrument. And you have
to have some remnants of talent, I should say. So if you got a little bit of talent here that has to be cultivated, but you have to be willing to listen. You know, you can't jump up on that stage and say, well, you know, because once you do that, then people are like, oh, then that's gonna either throw you off, and you ain't gonna want to do it. You know, so like you said, you got to be prepared. It's all about prepared and being at the right time when that break comes. You know?
Well, if you're prepared when the break comes, you can take advantage of it. If you're not prepared, you can't wait until you get an opportunity to start preparing.
There you go.
You know, oh man, I better go and start practicing, because if I don't start practicing, I ain't gonna be able to do this song, and we'll do it. I got this opportunity. I'm like, and then you're nervous.
Yeah.
You know, because nervous is is just unsure. You're
Right.
just you're not confident in what you're doing because you didn't prepare.
Yeah.
You didn't rehearse.
Right.
So yeah, listen to Tim. And rehearse, prepare, do your homework, do your research, know the business, know what you're walking into. And I say this at every show. Um, uh, be prepared, because that's the first step to being successful when you get the opportunity.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And always, and another piece of advice, always do your best on the show, on the stage, because you never know who's in that audience. So you always do your best performance that you could possibly do. So you won't look back and say, wow, this guy and I should have did this. So always do your best.
If I could, I would, I should have.
That's right.
You don't want to be saying that. You don't want to be saying that. You want to be ready.
Yeah. Even you with this platform that you're doing here, you know you made it in the business, but you also now you got a platform where you can, people that may or may not have known about other people, that you put them on the platform, and I say, well, I didn't know that guy did that. I mean, you know, and
Exactly.
That's a gig. So the things that you do is important as well. You know, and so like I said, I know I'm gonna leave here and I'm gonna say, wow, this is something I should have said and should have did, but the gist of it is,
well, you got time. You got time. This is your time. This is Motown Tim's time.
Right, and just of it, like I said, you know, my love for music and which has really benefited me in a lot of ways. I went to college by performing with a band in California called Brian and Things, up and down the Pacific Coast Highway, and paid my way through college. I didn't use any government money or nothing like that. I went to college in San Marcos, California. Junior college called Palomar College, and just by performing up and down, it was a band with the kind of Earth, Wind and Fire type Parliament type thing. Had a full horn session, and it was just by happenstance that I was in a club in Dana Point, California, and the bass player knew me, and he wanted me to come up and sing a song. And at the time, the Parliament had a sip called Mothership Connection, Mothership Connection in the home. And you got a real type of thing. And I wasn't even in the funk, but I did what I knew of that song. And he invited me to a rehearsal, so I was the lead singer for them. I'm doing a lot of the songs of that era, you know. So you know, and like I said, you know, we entertain, and there was always somebody in the audience. So we always had to do our best. Keenan Ivan Williams, he was a lot of times he was a student of music, but he was just looking for talent, or just out to enjoy himself. You never know. But yeah.
Well, I know when I go out, I go out to see the entertainment.
Yeah.
You know.
Sometimes it's good to be.
Try to sit in the back a little bit, you know.
Yeah. Sometimes, when you go out, you say, well, I just come out to be entertained tonight.
Right.
You know, because you spend most of your time entertaining. And, so with me and my group, out of my band, it's just me and the other lead singer that people know. The other band members, people don't really know them. They go out. But they know me, just like I was a guy. I was trying to sing with a guy that you know, and we were singing songs, and you know, he wanted to be the lead person, and which was good. You know, I don't have a problem with that, because people know me, whether I'm in the background or front ground, or, you know, they know me or they know of me. So I don't have a problem with that. But you know, it's not that important to me at this juncture in my life. You know, because I still got my own band. when I want to shine, if I want to shine. But now it's to me.
Well, you a businessman.
Yeah. It's just putting money in my pocket, maybe putting money in other people's pockets. So when I try to have this where we all make money.
Right. That's why I tell my guys in my group and my band members and then my staff and then my vocalists. I always tell them it can't always be about you. It's got to sometimes be about somebody else.
There you go.
And that's what you're doing now. I mean, you're doing what you need to do to be successful at what you're doing. But along the way, you help other people.
There you go.
And that's a good heart. That's somebody that you want to know.
And it comes back, and you get your blessings for that. Because what I'm saying, if you and I go out and do a show, and so what we're doing, we putting money in the people that we're working for, the club or the juncture, the venue, or whoever we're working for, as well as putting money in our pocket. So everybody's eating. Now, but you're gonna do your best, and then they're gonna have you back, and it's a cycle like that. So yeah.
Yeah, I want to reference that remark that you made just there, when you said when you go on stage, you always look to do your best, and you said because you never know who might be in the audience. I remember hearing that when I was doing talent shows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But as after working with some people George, Don Davis, Ron Banks, God, the list goes on, Bootsy Collins, all these people. For me, it's more about the audience.
Yeah.
The people who come to see you.
Absolutely.
Deserve your best effort.
Right. Because they're spending their hard earned money.
Right. Now, if you do that, those people that are in the audience that you say, you never know who's in the audience, then they don't become as significant because it's about the audience, because the audience is what makes you who you are.
Absolutely. But when I'm saying that, I said that, and
no, I agree with what you said.
Right.
I'm just adding something to it.
And you're absolutely right. Those people count, and the person that's in the position that may just be out looking for talent, or just or that has something going on, but when they see your acting, I can use something like that.
Yeah.
Those people are important too.
Yeah. Of course.
But your audience, because you when you come on and you do a song and it clicks with them. Oh, I was doing this when that song was out, and they have a good time.
Flashback.
That's why.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Song recognition. That's why when you sing, just like when you sing a song, and you come out singing your song, I don't care how that song finished, but in the beginning, they recognize us as a miracle song. Your voice and the way you do it. And that's what I tell people, Theo Peoples is one of the greatest singers it is.
Oh man, absolutely.
But when
Theo Peoples.
Yeah.
He was with, I'm just talking to my audience. He was with the Temptations. His lead voice, he did Stay, right? He did Stay.
Yeah.
And then he ended up with the Four Tops for a period of time. So yeah, absolutely amazing vocalist,
right.
A beautiful brother, and an outstanding human being, man. He's really, I know him.
Yeah. And on a lot of songs he was great, great. Yeah,
I think he wrote some of the songs that the Temptations did.
This is my promise, I think.
Is that the one?
Yeah. But I'm saying when you're doing Levi, you got to come out with that. What it is, And
well, he did it. Okay, well, I'm gonna do a last station ID, and then we're gonna finish up.
Okay.
So you're watching Wjzz Cool TV. This is Off the Cuff. I'm your host, Mark Scott. My guest tonight was Motown Tim. So we're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and other top social media platforms. So like us, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching Wjzz TV, the coolest station in the world. And that will be our show for today. Is there any last things you want to say?
Just like I said, stay up, get advice, do what your craft. If you're gonna be in the entertainment business, do your craft, polish it up, be good to people,
and be ready. With that Motown Tim wisdom, we're gonna say good night. Thank you for watching. We love you. See you next time.
That's a wrap. That's good. I don't know how to. Where would I be able to see this at?
It's